Hey, right. So, straight in. Welcome, everyone, to the first HDANYWHERE podcast, which hasn't got a name yet. So, for
we'll
episode
figure
1,
that out.
it's the HDANYWHERE podcast. And today, we're going to be talking about ISE, or Integrated Systems Europe, which is taking place on
10th to 13th of May in Barcelona, Spain.
and we had a booth there. What's our number?
We're Hall 5, booth P600.
P600, all 5, P600. And hopefully there'll be some people going to that show.
Well, that's going to be the $1 million trick, now, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting ISE, I think.
Big-
Location is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, because on the face of it, you're like, Barcelona, what a cool place to have a show. But for those that don't know, it was previously in Amsterdam, another really cool city.
Great city.
And there's been some logistical challenges
Yeah,
because of the move.
yeah.
And we're just not sure how many people are going to be going. So don't expect the biggest of booths that we've ever had.
Nah,
But
we're hoping size doesn't count.
yeah, that's applicable to many things.
So many.
But so we decided to do a podcast because so many people just aren't reading their emails nor their trade magazines.
Yeah, I mean, our fingertips are raw with no real return on interest. Eh?
What do you have to do to get someone to listen now? To see your message?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we could take a South African approach and bring a baseball bat to the equation and try and force people that way. But, I mean, that's what people don't have time anymore. I think that's the big thing.
You have to super glue yourself to a motorway junction.
Yes. Yeah, really make an impact. Yeah, literally with a 10-ton lorry coming down. But yeah, I mean, people's time has now become such a valuable commodity, and how do we borrow a little bit of their time to give them some information that, of course, we think is valuable and valid, but truthfully is.
It's becoming harder and harder to get messages to your customers or just the market in general because you have tools on your email provider to block marketing. You have hardly anyone picks up the magazines now. That's a shame because there's still some sort a bit of something nice about having a cup of coffee and
exactly literally paging through the magazine, not virtually. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so we're going to try a podcast and see if we reach a few more people this way.
True story. And to be fair, we do enjoy having fun. That's probably a bit of a loop there.
Yeah.
But we do enjoy having fun, and this is fun. It's different for us as well. Like you say, it's our first one.
Yeah.
First of many, I'm sure, and hoping. But we hear so many people. We were just at a CDA Tech Summit, and people we know in the industry, people we don't know in the industry, telling us, "Oh yeah, I was listening to a podcast on the way here."
Yeah.
That this is a much easier format in many ways for people to consume because they can pop it in their headphones, pop it in their car. They can listen to the thing while they're working, depending on the type of work they're doing at the time.
Yes.
And traveling is always such wasted time, whether you're on the train, the bus, or in the car. Why not listen to something and educate yourself that way? It does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy my podcasts. I listen to them all the time.
Yep. I agree. So we're going to ISE, so we're going to focus this podcast on if you're going, what you can see, if you're not going, what you've missed.
Yes.
And the main focus for our space there and our conversations is going to be
MHUB S.
the MHUB S. What does the S stand for?
The S is stacking or stackable or just
Stackable, stacking,
so damn cool.
sexy, silver.
Superb.
But yeah, stackable. And if you're an installer or a professional, you probably already know what that term means.
Yeah, but many
from
don't.
Networking.
Yeah.
So the idea being that you can create bigger systems by stacking multiple units together.
Yeah.
So this system, for example, has 8 outputs, and if you stack 2 of them, you get
16 outputs.
If you stack 3, you get
24.
And if you stack 4, you get
more. Oh, 32.
So yeah, that's the idea. So this is our approach, as in HDANYWHERE's approach, to creating bigger systems.
Yeah.
And as in the product development cycle, why did we choose to stack systems and take that approach rather than creating, for example, an AV over IP product?
Yeah, because guys ask us that, why aren't we taking the IP route? Why, everybody else is. But I guess it does speak to the fact that we did want to stay within a skill set that everybody already has, using technologies that are tried and true and trusted, that we're already very familiar with, that our dealer base is already familiar with. Does make sense.
Yeah.
There's a very shallow learning curve to do an MHUB S. It's virtually flat learning curve to do an MHUB S. If you've ever done an HDANYWHERE MHUB at all, you can do an MHUB S. It's the same thing. So the technologies are good. The price was important. A lot of people disconnect with the price of AV over IP when you're under 50 displays. It's great. It's very scalable. But it's expensive. A lot of consumers don't have that budget, or don't need to put that budget into that level line of technology because they feel their budget could be used better elsewhere. Yeah. So for us, I think, obviously we're biased. We say this was the right strategy, but certainly the interest we're getting from integrators around the world shows that MHUB S, the idea of a stackable matrix that can be anything it wants to be and can expand within reason to anything you need. Yeah, that does make a ton of sense.
So 32 zones is the biggest system you can create with stacked MHUB S's.
No.
You can go bigger.
Well, you can go bigger. It just depends on how you want to control it.
The limit of 32 zones. So before we talk about control,
yes,
we need to make the point that you could go bigger than 32, but we've recommended to stop at 32 if you want to use something called uControl, which is our onboard universal control system that allows you to deliver functionality, command over the functionality of an entire system, whether that be turning the TVs on and off, the volume of those TVs, the scheduling of what's shown on those TVs. So it's 32 zones for a full set of functionality features. And we should say it's 100 meters as well. So similar to AV over IP over copper.
Absolutely.
You're still getting 100 meter range, still getting 4K, still getting scaling. So if a TV's 1080 or the projector's 1080 in one zone and you've got 4K in another space, you're still going to get a picture delivered to both.
Yeah.
So on a side-by-side comparison with, not talking about video quality here, but you could do.
Well, I think that's an important conversation to have.
You're looking at a similar functionality. So you're not losing out. You are not losing out by using HD.
You're certainly not getting anything less. Absolutely. No. Absolutely.
So uControl then, as an onboard feature, what sort of things do we see people using uControl for?
Well, trying to create simplicity at a budget. Trying to add functionality to a system without necessarily the complexity that comes with third-party control systems and the cost that comes with third-party control systems. People, our most practical applications, looking at on our supports side, is people want control over the sources. They want to be able to change the channels on their skybox and do away with the millions of remote controls sitting on each table in every room. They don't like that at all. And
if it's in a commercial environment like a sports bar,
even more so, because the reality of something like a sports bar or a pub is is you want the floor manager, the landlord, whomever, to have some control over a system where you absolutely don't want remote controls lying around, because you're going to go and find some guy who's get lost, batteries go flat, one of your patrons realizes what's going on, brings his remote from home just to mess with you.
The day that the landlord's not there, no one else knows how to change the system.
Exactly.
You've got
Exactly.
one of the staff walking around, wagging this remote around, trying to get TVs on and off.
Yeah. And also, you look at those facilities, those spaces. Most of the time, we're dealing with non-technical people with quite a technical system. Mm-hmm. How do you make it easy for anybody, any staff member, to be able to use the system, be able to change to the right content in the right part of that venue on the right displays when you need it? Mm-hmm. And you've got to make that simple, because today you've got staff X, Y, and Z, and then, they move on, and maybe they're students and they've gone to go do something else, and your next staff rotation comes in, whatever it is. You've got to make the learning curve exceptionally straightforward for these people.
You can create routines as well.
Very much so. You schedule a lot of what the machine's doing, so you can have it that, and that's the joy of our system, is we can build sequences which automate. So we go control, we can make stuff work. Mm-hmm. Then we go to sequences where we can automate that functionality. We can say, right, one button to switch all the TVs in the pub on. Yeah. Another button to switch all the TVs off. Great. Mm-hmm. Well, that's nice. Then we can create scheduling. We can say, please switch all these TVs on automatically at 8 o'clock in the morning and switch them all off automatically at midnight. Mm-hmm. And that level of functionality makes our equipment disappear in a way, and just makes the venue more functional with less aggravation. Mm-hmm. It's a win for everybody.
That's a great example of where uControl can be used.
Yeah. And we find it's, just back to what you were asking, how people are using it. So, interestingly, we're finding that the commercial integrators are more interested in the sequences and scheduling than residential ones are. Mm-hmm. Most residential people, I guess, are coming from a lifestyle of always having to pick up the remote for the Sky and work the Sky, and then pick up the remote for the other thing. So doing that on our app is no problem for them. Mm. And we find, for example, CCTV has changed that a little in residential. Mm-hmm. People want CCTV sequences now. Right. So a single button press and the screens you've designated will come on and automatically go to the CCTV feed. Mm. From a security point of view, that's very useful. We see sequences being used like that in residential applications.
And that's a good point in overcoming sort of the thing that often gets thrown at us, where it's like, well, you can deal with that with Sky now, the new Sky Q, or Sky Glass. Yeah. Why do you need a HDANYWHERE MHUB if you've got Sky?
Exactly.
Well, CCTV is a great example because if you're security conscious and you've had a CCTV system installed in your home, you want to be able to view that whatever room you're in. Yeah. And you need some way of distributing that signal to every TV.
To every TV. And making the thing about security and a CCTV system especially is you never know when you're going to need it, but when you need it, it must be quick and simple. Yeah. It's not like, I'm in the mood to watch the next episode of Bridgerton on, and okay, I'll sit down, make myself comfortable, and then stream it. Yeah. CCTV often is a case of, the doorbell rings or something happens, some event that you want to see, specifically on perimeter alarms, maybe where the children are in the play area. Mm. You haven't heard them for a few minutes, you just like to have a camera on the playroom quickly. Mm. That's an immediate response that you need, and it has to be simple no matter which room you're in. Mm. And for normal people to understand how to work each room individually, when often there's different brands of tellies in every room, and it's a faff. Mm-hmm. Whereas that single interface from uControl, no matter which room they're in, uControl looks exactly the same every single time. Mm-hmm. And one button press, you get what you need. Yep. Yeah, simple.
So ISE in Barcelona, if you're a professional installer coming to that show, you can come along to the P600 in Hall 5.
Hall 5.
Take a look at the physical unit itself, and we'll show you uControl. We'll have a working demonstration. Yeah. So we talked about controlling the TVs and the audio-visual side. Yeah. But something that I'm sure a lot of installers aren't aware of yet, and we're trying to get them more conscious of it, is that how about lighting, blinds, IP controllable power banks? Is there any other devices within a space that you can have uControl take control of as well?
Yeah, well, that's the exciting thing about what's showing at ISE is, as you say, most people don't know that we have now developed the ability to do that. We can take control of products outside of AV.
Yeah.
And remember, we're an AV company on the face of it. But here we are stepping into the world of being able to take our AV system and with the addition of a small little control box, be able to take control of other products, but still integrate that with our AV, which is very useful.
Yeah.
And so IP control of lights, IP control of PDUs, IP control of virtually anything that has an API we can address is very exciting. And we'll be showing that at ISE. And we'll be showing at ISE PDU control, we'll be showing IP control of a lighting system, and just giving people an idea of just how easy it is to use our uControl philosophy and system to start adding a level of control around just the AV system. And I mean, you've put out our mandate for what we're aiming to achieve here. You know, it's 80% of the everyday functionality of a normal control system for 80% less money.
Well, I think if we're honest with ourselves, and if the homeowners who have big control systems installed in their home answered the question honestly about what functions do you use the most, they would say light, turning on and off the lights, setting a lighting mode, whether that be sort of, I don't know, bright, romantic, you know, chill, whatever. And then it's going to be controlling the AV functions, whether that's TV, music, and they're the three things. I call them the 3 M's. I call them media, music, and mood. They're the three things that most people are using their big control systems for.
Absolutely right.
Yes. Okay, and then following on from that, you've got your door entry and CCTV.
Security systems and irrigation. And
you're probably using that. 2 out of 10 button presses is going to be one of the 3 M's. So that's 80% of functionality. So what we're aiming to do with our product roadmap is deliver 80% of the most used functions of a whole home control system, but entirely from the HDANYWHERE brand. And our control system, uControl, which is growing all the time with its function and what it can do.
Some exciting stuff coming, people. If you're going to come, we're not going to tell you, but we've got some exciting stuff.
And a lot of people think it's just an app, and people are like, hate apps.
Everybody's got an app.
And they dismiss apps out of hand. Well, that's fine, because an app is just like one of 5 ways you can currently use uControl. So correct me if I'm wrong. If you want it, you can use an Apple Watch to trigger certain uControl things.
Absolutely, which makes us fairly unique, might I just add.
Yes. You can use third-party keypads.
So now that we have zone processors.
So we have, for example, if you have a Rayco keypad, you could use that to trigger what we call sequences, but that could be turn on sky, volume this, lighting this.
So sexy.
Other brands of keypads. Do we work with other brands of keypads?
We don't yet, just
what
because we've worked with the Rayco, but
that recently came to market. Testing you now.
Oh, you really are.
I'm testing myself.
¿Por qué?
We had it at ISE. We had it at EI Live.
I wasn't here for EI Live.
Colton, remind me of the name of the keypad. Ooh. It's written on the...
Black Nova?
It's written on the board. No, it's written over there.
I've only just got here. Let's just... For those of you who don't know, my name is Justin, and I'm from South Africa. Only recently landed in the United Kingdom. Violet. There we go. I should have remembered that, because I mean, violence and South Africa are certainly synonymous.
So Violet, for example, is another keypad you can use.
Absolutely. And we can actually integrate with anything.
iPads.
iPads.
Android devices.
We're very agnostic in that regard.
So it's not just the phone app.
No.
It can be all sorts of things. Voice.
We have some of the best Alexa integration on the planet at the moment for an audiovisual system. And that extends into all our control now.
Yeah. So that's what we mean when we're talking about uControl. And you're getting 8 zones, 32 zones, 20 of 16, 24 zones of AV plus uControl.
Yeah.
That's what we mean. We mean that in every endpoint, to use another industry term, for every endpoint, at that endpoint, you can do a lot of stuff over a single cable.
Yeah.
And it's all powered from the head end, another industry point. But all a single power supply to each 8 zones, basically.
And back to what we were saying earlier, such simple distribution that most of you out there listening to this probably know exactly how to build the infrastructure to do this. So not hard, using Cat6 or Cat6A cable in the same way that you've always used it for HDBaseT type distribution. You're not having to learn any new skills. It's very straightforward. It's very easy for you as integrators to deploy. And that's really important because that's time on site. Yeah. When we're saving you time in terms of how we set this up, because uControl, for those of you listening, uControl is not just about how we control the system. We've built it for the integrators as well. We've used uControl to make it easy to set up an 8x32 system. Yes. You could do it all off your iPad or your iPhone if you wanted to, or your Android for that matter. You could do it all off your iPad. You don't have to crack open your laptop once.
Or in a commercial installation, so say at the local football club, where they're using iPads as the till system. It's very simple to add uControl then to be that AV control within that same building. They've already got half the technology they already need.
Yeah, exactly right.
But say they were using another control system brand, one of the big 3 or 4 American brands. Can uControl be used like in partnership with those brands?
Very much so. And that's, again, one of our tactical advantages is we have this incredibly deep integration with the big brands. It's not just that we have our own uControl system and we're excluding those. So depending on the brand and its own abilities, they can hijack or interface with our system to an incredible degree. And essentially use our cabling and distribution infrastructure to send control commands out to all of those zones and all of those sources and automate the switching process and make us a seamless part of their total offering on a particular project. So if you did have a Control 4, a Savant, an RTI, a Crestron, whatever, and you're wanting a more cost-effective way to deliver the video and audio solution into that, without compromising the control and therefore the user experience. We're the perfect partners.
Because and we're invisible. So
exactly.
It's not like going to be a messy system with loads of brands all together. Exactly. From an end user perspective, it's still the clean experience from a single interface. Whether that's uControl's interface or a
brand X,
another brand.
Absolutely. And I mean, for those tinkerers out there, we even cater for the guys who do know their way around programming and coding and all the rest of it. And our API is open.
Yes.
If you have a product or the skills to write your own integrations, we've got a very open, very powerful API. And it gives those tinkerers the ability to create their custom solutions, still use all of the functionality we offer through our API.
Yes.
I mean, we put a lot of effort into building what probably is the best API for an audiovisual company in the business today.
For those tinkerers, those integrators and there is a group of them with that,
absolutely,
where they want to be very custom in what they do. In fact, they could build you can build a web page that has a control. So I think we did a project for bookkeepers, and they built a custom interface just for controlling their branches, all off of a web page. And that's the sort of thing you can do with an open API.
Absolutely.
Similarly, it allows unique drivers to be created. And things we haven't thought of that we hope these people do.
Absolutely.
Make us aware of.
Teach us. Show us what you can do. And we have a Facebook group for that.
Yes.
You know, we have a Facebook group for uControl, for hackers.
Facebook.com/HDANYWHERE.
HDANYWHERE. Come find us.
Yeah.
Come join the movement of, you can do what with this uControl zone presser? Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's been described as like a global cache on steroids.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And kudos to Global Cache, because that's a really good product. But absolutely, we're doing it differently, potentially better. Yeah, make it more accessible without too much of the coding faff that comes with that.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we're delivering we're going to be delivering 80% of the most used things. So what about the other 20%? Well, we're hoping that we'll gradually expand into that.
Yeah, stay tuned for more amazing stuff from HDANYWHERE. Yeah. Exactly.
You know. So ISE, Barcelona, Hall 5.
Booth P600.
P600. Let us know if you're coming. That would be good.
Yeah. We'd love to hear why you're coming or why you're not coming.
Because if you're not, frankly, if we've got a day where no one's coming, we can go chill.
It is Barcelona. The food's apparently amazing. Yeah. You know more about Spain than I do, but I'm quite looking forward to being there, I must say.
Yeah, it's a fantastic city, and the food's incredible. And, I've got my reservations about how many people are going to attend this show.
Yeah. If I may on that, I just want to add, it's worth attending. Maybe it's better to attend now because it probably won't be packed to the hilt. I mean, previous ISEs, to get from one side of a hall to another, if you had a meeting, you've got to be light on your feet, or you've got to plan well in advance, because the place is just so fully packed with people. And we have a chance now to have a bit more space and a bit more time, which means all of us have more time to engage and to spend the time. You have the time to listen. We have the time to talk about our products. But it is a beautiful city.
The booth this year has been more of a meeting area, more of a airport lounge, type vibe than look at all the SKUs we do.
Yeah, all the flashing lights,
every single SKU.
Yeah,
we haven't gone for that approach.
No, we're actually very minimalist. We're almost Scandinavian in our minimalism this time around.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
You like minimalism?
Oh, I love minimalism. But definitely come to Barcelona. Take the time. It's the thing that I'm always so sad about sometimes in our industry is how, with some people have the best of intentions to expand their horizons and to broaden their knowledge of the products, or more particularly in this case the industry. But it takes a level of commitment to actually buy the ticket and arrive.
Yes.
And I'll give you a very South African perspective on that, because we're at the bottom end of the African continent. It's an 11-hour flight just to get to the previous ISEs, for example. The exchange rate is 20-1 against us. It's a real pain in the you-know-where to get to ISE. So we have every reason, for example, I certainly had every reason not to go.
Yeah.
But the reality is it's an infusion of energy and motivation for what our industry is capable of, what's available, who's there. You can get to see so many people in one location, and maybe see things you didn't know existed, see things you've never seen before, see stuff you're never going to touch in your life again. But you'll certainly have an amazing experience. But most importantly, you should be able to come back from ISE in Barcelona this year and go, you know what? The world took a hit. Fair enough. But there's some cool stuff going down. And this is, from that takeaway, I know what I'm going to do with my business for the year ahead.
Yeah.
Come get inspired. Come get motivated. Come immerse yourself in the industry that you're a part of.
Yeah.
Rather than just being, a guy plodding along, just getting by.
Yep. And we said fun at the start of the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Business, to stop yourself from going...
crazy.
I was going to say doolally, and just getting in a negative, over sort of dull headspace about your day to day. Break it up.
Break the routine.
Yeah,
shake it up. It's Barcelona, baby. The expo does end at 5:00. You've got the evening to do something with. Make it worth your while.
If you people come, I don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
Some people, reps come to see me. I don't go to see them. different
not
attitudes.
the same thing. You got to go with an open mind. You've got to go there and go, show me what you got, absorb, and again, touch, see, feel, experience the product, see the products that you don't do, and maybe you're just not in a class you want to do, but it'll give you something to aspire to. But come in with an open mind to learn. There's so many people. You in a small space. You have such a high concentration of brain power around our industry. Come and ask the questions. Come push our buttons. Come tell us what you don't like about our stuff, just as quickly as you tell us what you do like about our stuff. For example, but we and so many people at ISE are only too happy to share the knowledge that we've got and tell you our take on things and tell you where we see things going.
Absolutely.
It's all about having the right attitude. If you're going to spend any money, whatever it does cost to get to Spain, make it worth your while.
Oh yeah, it's more expensive, obviously.
Sure.
I mean,
it's not Amsterdam.
No.
Although chances are Amsterdam's nightlife will cost you more.
Yeah. I think Barcelona's got some decent nightlife.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the restaurants.
We're staying in the Easy Hotel. That's the fact.
Yeah, because it's easy.
No luxurious penthouse apartment for us.
Damn it.
No. The flights are expensive as well.
Yeah. Well, we're not having that conversation. What I had to do to get a visa.
I don't know. People might like to hear it.
My visa story. Oh, jeepers. Well, let's just say, good people, that I had to go all the way from Great Malvern in Worcestershire to Edinburgh to find an office of the VFS Global organization that had an appointment slot available for me.
What does VFS stand for?
Visa Foreign Services? Who knows?
Oh, right,
Who knows? But anyway, they're the people handling the visa applications. And the joys of being a South African with a little green passport means we need visas to basically step out the front door, never mind.
Yeah.
So it was, all the way to Edinburgh just for a visa appointment, which I'm still not sure I've got. So let's hope I get approved. Yeah, otherwise I'll be doing ISE virtually with a little robot with a screen on it. But I'm sure we're going to be there, and we're looking forward to doing this again. It's been, 2020? It's the last ISE we did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we all wearing masks at that ISE?
No, masks hadn't kicked in yet. It was February, and by March everybody had gone absolutely paranoid. But I will say this, we were one of the few booths, if not the only booth, that we had little giveaways for all our attendees that particular year. It's not something we do all the time, but it did include hand sanitizer and tissues and all sorts of things, because we know what these trade shows are like, pre-COVID anyway, certainly post-COVID. And we were looking after our attendees' safety and
with the
well-being, with hand sanitizers and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah, come prepared.
I think I've still got mine somewhere.
I know I do.
You carry it on your belt.
Hell yeah. No, to be fair, I carry a Leatherman on my belt. Everything else is in the bag.
So that is probably long enough for a first episode.
Well, I hope so, and I hope it's vaguely entertaining to our good listeners out there.
I think we should say, we want your feedback.
Yeah.
Tell us the sort of things you want us to talk about, us to cover.
Absolutely.
Email podcast at HDANYWHERE.com. I've just made that up.
I was going to say that in the background there are about 20 people going, "Oh crap, we better set that up quickly."
Email podcast at HDANYWHERE.com. Let us know any other things you want us to do.
Yeah.
This is really just a kind of pilot test.
Yes, testing.
We'll put a link to it within our marketing.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully stop, if you can't be bothered to read stuff or watch stuff or attend stuff, just listening to this will fill you in on what you need to know.
Exactly. Stay tuned for more amazingness from HD Anywhere.
Yeah. We need some sort of jingles. We need jingles as well.
Yeah. Oh, Colton. Our head of creative and our creative genius here at HD Anywhere.
We need to kind of create segments, familiar kind of segments as well.
So as you can tell, we're kind of learning this as we go, but we're going to have some fun doing it, yeah?
We did a radio show once at university.
Okay.
Dylan was involved with that as well. And there was a section called Challenge Dylan.
Can see where that was going to go.
Yeah. And
yes.
I'm not going to We'll save it for another podcast.
Yes.
But you can create sections like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so far you've done well with challenges.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, just a small little, 6-day.
Hot jog.
Yeah, a little jog in the Moroccan desert for, 6 marathons in 6 days?
Yeah. 6 marathons in 6 days.
Yeah, you're a sucker for challenges.
It's nice to get away. Yeah, it's easier than HDMI distribution.
Well, take that, people. He lost 1 kilogram a day running in the desert, and that is easier than HDMI distribution. There you have it.
It's a hard profession we chose.
Yes, for our sins. But listen, we don't take the easy path.
Yeah, that's right. Well, sure, if anyone wants to talk to me about it, I can talk for hours on it. So I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
I'm boring the hell out of
No, I must say. So your little story about how easy it is to get up a sand dune,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
You enjoyed that one?
I really did. I took a lot from that.
Did I tell you about... No, I can't bring that up.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a summary of most of Chris's life so far. Oh, no, I can't talk about that. Oh, yeah. Well, what's...
I'm doing some other podcasts where I'm going to talk about the marathon disabler.
Right.
We won't do it on this one.
Well, just suffice to say, we're proud of you. You raised money for a good cause. You stepped up to an amazing challenge, and you did exceptionally well. And you inspired us, and this is why you're the boss.
I hope it. When it comes to HDANYWHERE side of it, I hope the fact that I say that we're going to do something, and then I go and do it.
Yeah.
I hope,
regardless of the challenge,
reflects on what we're doing at HDANYWHERE as well.
True.
Sometimes I say HDANYWHERE is doing something and it doesn't materialise for 5 years.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris has now been told by me that if he ever talks about products that aren't actually ready to be shipped, that I'm going to hurt him with my Leatherman pliers.
Leatherman's like a Swiss Army knife.
It's like a Swiss Army knife, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the pliers to encourage you.
Leatherman is a character on...
I don't want to know.
A League of Their Own.
Thank gosh, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, no. So we've got this genuine 80. Going to try and do 80% of what people using the market leading control systems use them for.
Yeah,
we're trying to do that. Bootstrapped, which is another American phrase.
Very, very
on a shoestring budget.
Yes.
Under-resourced.
Yes.
David against Goliath.
Absolutely.
All the cliches, but
damn, we love it.
We're doing quite good.
We're doing brilliantly.
Yes.
We're doing brilliantly. So stay tuned. HDANYWHERE is going to be exceptionally interesting for the next 12 to 18 months.
Yes, it is.
Lots of cool stuff coming.
Yes. Okay, let's sign off there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody.
Play jingle.
Ta-da.